Hello everybody, my name is That Joe Guy, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. Let's talk changes. So, starting with, as I promised at the end of last session, the last mini session lasted about 8 minutes, and I was recording in a far softer voice than this one. I said I was going to do the usual between maintenance equipment changes and leveling up, and so I have, but nothing with Nathan and nothing with Shale. Wynn, however, has got changes for the both of us. As you can see, I have equipped her with Wade's Drakeskin armor. Now this, obviously, being quite heavy on the stuff, Wynn does lose out, unfortunately, on her +2 willpower and +2 magic. However, this has a very, very juicy set bonus, which I tried out whilst I was in Denerim. Essentially, it gives a set bonus, which turns this 12% fatigue to -12% fatigue, which means that her spells actually cost 12% less to cast when she's in this armor. So I think this is like the perfect armor for her to wear. And then we finally get to make use of her new Arcane Warrior abilities. And yeah, we got the sword and shield there as well. I also have a Tome of Arcane technique, which I'm going to use on her when I get outside. Wait, can only the main character use this? I hope not, because that would be completely lame balls. Restriction mage. Oh, I guess we'll just see if that can be used there. If not the end of the world. It was only 12 gold, but that is a bit of a pisser. Right, okay, apart from anything else, I think everything else is kind of fine with her, yeah. I mean, she also lost the gloves and such like that, which gave her plus to cold damage, which is a bit of a shame. But no, I think we're okay. Sten, no change there, gave him back the Nug Crusher. So yada yada yada. We also actually leveled him into a Berserker. Obviously haven't given him any of the Berserker talents yet because I was only able to make the specialization, but I gave him +1 to strength and +10 to his physical resistance, and he just looks freaking awesome. I was both very proud and very angry at Sten last session, wasn't I? Last session before. I'm just going to call the session before the 8-minute session the last session, just for the sake of convenience. Alistair, he is, I believe, no changes. I don't know if I covered the fact that he has a new shield last session. I don't think I did. And yep, actually everything else is fine. Zevran, wearing a helmet. He's wearing the long sight, which is the Drakeskin helmet. He's also wearing Wade's Drakeskin leather armor, which is just better than the armor that he was wearing before. However, we are actually keeping the... this isn't going to be permanent on him, and I'll talk about that in just a little bit. Neither is the helmet. Glenel's gave him, conversely, the Pure Bitch Braid, which is an awesome collar, but doesn't really fit with the name. Still, he's a dog, he doesn't know. He's also a very smart dog, so he probably does know. Liliana, we gave her Marjolin's Recurve, which is an awesome looking bow. And apart from armor changes, she still has a set of leather armor, but when she has one more strength, we will put her in the Drakeskin boots, which makes her spells and talents less to activate. So we'll take that off Zevran. We'll also give her the long sight helmet because she'll get more use out of it than Zevran will. And that's the plan for her, yeah. Apart from that, Morgan, I think I just gave her Wynn's old gloves, which give her a plus on the cold damage, which is actually going to do her very well. And also Wynn's old boots. And that, I believe, is that. In terms of leveling, we can level her up, but that's only to give her specialization, which I'm still not sure about. So, but I did give her Crushing Prison, which is awesome. Apart from that, Liliana, I leveled you up too. I gave you Melee Archer, that's what I gave you, because I figure since we're taking her out on this session where we will be going to do Soldier's Peak, I think she'll make quite a lot of use out of it. So, I was going to give her that, which would make her almost any lock she'd be able to traverse, but I think there's always going to be a reason to put off getting this, and I don't think I micromanage my combatants well enough that if she gets attacked by a melee guy or whatever, then I would remember to bring out her melee weapons. So, it's just that. Glenold gave Shred. Automatic critical hit can help him shatter folks. Of course, I think it's either Overwhelm shatters folks as well, so that's awesome. Zevran gave Lacerate. Whenever a backstab deals enough damage to the assassin's foes, riddled with bleeding wounds that inflict additional nature damage for a short time. What else? Alistair is actually... Alistair did not get a level. Oh, it's because it's level 15. Blimey. Yeah, he's actually on par. Where's Nathan? High level. Yeah, high level. And that, I believe, is that. No other new moves or anything like that, at least as far as I can remember. But everybody's looking pretty freaking beasting, particularly Wynn here. Hey, Wynn.
What's on your mind?
How freaking badass you're looking. That's what's on my mind.
It is no trouble.
I know. Right. Just before we leave...
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Shut up, Nathan. Let's turn in runes for the circle, because I've also gone through and enchanted anybody, so... Yeah. My pack glows ever so slightly. Okay. Give all unassigned journeyman runes. Yeah, we want to keep the master runes. Journeyman, not so much. We're good. Yep. And crafting materials. Let's see. You know, I never use the metal shards to make any traps or anything like that, so let's give all the metal shards. Free up a bit of space in our pack as well. Can't give all the elf fruit, that'd be like 100. And just some coin. Let's give another 2 sovereigns. With a little bit each time, we can build up a good amount of resources.
Generous as always, Warden.
And just in case they have anything new to say about what I've given them, let's have a chat.
The Circle of Magi stands ready to assist, Grey Warden, as do the Templars of the Chantry.
You know, I wonder what happened to you. Were you a mage that was too afraid to take the harrowing? Were you a blood mage that was captured before he managed to, you know, kill anybody with the magic? Were you at one point completely evil and now nothing? I don't know what point I'm trying to make. It's just something worth considering. Alright, G. Ethan.
There are always areas to improve on, Grey Warden. The most useful for my talents are runes.
Okay.
The Circle of Magi stands ready to assist, Grey Warden.
They'll work together.
The sincerity of your cause has drawn them together under a common banner.
Yay.
It would not have happened otherwise.
How about you?
At your word, Warden.
Heidi. Okay, your men will commit to my cause?
I would not insult them by asking. Word was given, and that is all that needs be said.
Fair enough.
At your word, Warden.
Of course.
We have assembled on a short schedule. Certain factors of equipment could be better. Crafting components would serve best. Basic ones like elf root and deep mushroom.
It's kind of weird that it doesn't give me any context, which leads me to believe that maybe it isn't important. But at the same time, why would they put it in there if it wasn't for something? I don't know. As I'm finding another coin on the floor over there. Hey.
On your order, Grey Warden.
Who are you guys again? Oh, guarding the Arl, of course. What? Do you need anything?
The Jarl was generous, but rushed. Certain areas could see improvement. We're a mercenary force, Warden.
Yeah, okay. I know we've heard all those before, but on the off chance that they said anything different, I wanted to make sure. So, finally. Hello, friend. You've been following me for about 1.5 years. I guess you're not taking the hint. So what do you want?
You're a hard man to find. Where are my manners? The name is Levy. Levy Dryden. Did Duncan ever mention me? Levy of the coins? Levy the trader?
No, I'm afraid not. Dryden's a black name. Your family lost its land and titles. Actually, I guess that's something I would know as a, as a noble. So, I'm not really sure if I would want to bring attention to that, because I'm more interested in the fact that he knew Duncan. Yeah, you know Duncan?
Oh, yes, for years. Considered him a friend, I did. But here I am carrying on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look into something important for the Wardens. And for me. But poor Duncan's... well, no more.
Yeah.
A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work carried on. His pledge fulfilled.
Right. How did you know Duncan, though?
It's a bit of a tale, that is.
Go on.
But I'm the one who brought the Grey Wardens back to Ferelden.
Eh?
Well, I was one of the ones. There were a lot of us. Maker's breath, I'm a bit nervous. Honoured to be here, really.
Oh, no, it's fine. Look, go ahead and tell your tale.
After King Marek freed us from the Orlesians, the Grey Wardens begged the King's permission to come into Ferelden, some sort of internal business. Me and a mess of other Warden sympathisers spoke on behalf of your order. Tan Loghain was very much against letting Orlesian Wardens in the kingdom. But Marek, Andraste, bless him, was a fair-minded monarch and he let them in.
Thank God somebody was. So go on.
So that's why I was there when the Wardens and their leader, Genevieve, presented herself to the King. The first Wardens in Ferelden in over a century. Proudest state of my life, that was. Duncan was a bit of a scamp back then. We were of an age and struck up a friendship. The King himself went with the Wardens on their mysterious business. When he returned, he rescinded King Ardland's decree, and the Wardens came back to Ferelden for good.
Yeah, I wonder why we were banished in the first place. I think it was something to do with the fact that they were implicated in an assassination attempt. Oh wait, that's Naud. No, it's I forget why they were banished. Let's see. Well, for the record, you did, you know. Oh no, there it is. Like, why were the Grey Wardens cast out by Ireland?
People say it's because the Wardens have become terribly unpopular. Just soaking up ties and not doing a bleeding thing for the kingdom. I say that's bollocks, as recent events have shown.
I can't believe we've made this far into a fantasy game without hearing the word bollocks. Except, obviously, from my good self. Let's see. And Marek rescinded the decree, just like that?
Marek was a bit of a visionary. A powerful mind, that one. In his travels with the Wardens, he must have seen how important their cause was, and been moved by it.
I suppose, you know, they took him to see some darkspawn and such like that. Well, it is important what we do, so... I mean, maybe there were bribes and such involved, but I don't know, Marek, for all intents and purposes, seems like an okay man, although an associated friendship with Tairn Loghain maybe is a mark in his, against him. Let's see. Well, I thank you for your part in bringing the Wardens here.
Oh, his stomach's all aflutter. You're welcome.
Alright, what promise did Duncan make to you?
Well, as you know, my family's name is Mud around noble circles. My great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last Warden commander of Ferelden back when the Wardens were known as freeloaders. So King Arland banished the Wardens and he took House Dryden's land and titles.
Oh, so that's how your family became sort of blacklisted, I guess you'd say. A little bit drastic, isn't it?
And then some. Not much is known about that time. After King Arland died, there was a civil war, loads worse than this one, and our family was on the run, hunted by enemies, with nary a friend in the world. But Drydens are tough. We rebuilt, became merchants, and we never lost our pride.
I'm surprised you kept your name.
Our family's only crime was guarding the kingdom against the Blight. We're not ashamed of that.
So what favour did you ask of him then?
I asked for the truth. My family reveres Sophia Dryden. We know she died at the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak. We want evidence to clear her name. It won't restore our land or our titles, but it'll restore our honour.
Right, okay. So this could be cool, an old Grey Warden base. I like the idea of this, but I've never even heard of this place.
Well, no one's been to Soldier's Peak since Ireland's days. At least none that's come back.
Right.
I spent years mapping the maze of tunnels to the peak, and I found the way a few years back. So I went to Duncan, I did, and I said that he could reclaim the old base and my family could have its honour.
Oh, sweet. Well, the timing of this is actually really good because we just got attacked to this camp in the last session. So if we could get maybe a new base, I doubt that's how it's going to work, but that would be cool. Alright. And I'm assuming Duncan didn't help you because, you know, of the impending battles. I bet the timing just wasn't right. But out of interest, how exactly will reclaiming the peak help the Wardens?
Soldier's Peak is strategic and symbolic importance.
Right.
Duncan said that it would be worth it right there. He also hoped to recover lost warden history and perhaps a few old relics. No one knows what's up there now.
Nice, nice. And why do you think Duncan didn't help you?
Darkspawn surfaced in southern Ferelden, and Duncan got plenty busy recruiting new wardens and meeting with good King Caelan. Duncan said he would help after the Battle of Ostagar. Said there might be useful things at the peak, but he never had the chance.
No, he didn't. Hang on, I need to... There we go. I have to turn my radiator on. I'm getting chilly. Let's see. Oh, you never had the chance. And what exactly do you need from me?
I can pick my way through the tunnels at the base of Soldier's Peak, but the place, well, they say it's haunted, and it'll be dangerous for certain. Will you think on it at least?
Oh, it's dangerous. I do like dangerous things, you know. Your family's faith will be rewarded. I will help you.
1,000 blessings upon you, Warden. I'll mark down the location on your map. When you arrive, we'll pick our way through the tunnels together.
Nice, nice. Cool, cool. Oh, sweet. Codex. History of the Drydens. Sophia Dryden. Oh, shizzle to read. So let's read it. I like this. It's nice to sort of get involved in some sort of pure Grey Warden stuff again. Alistair, I don't know if you caught any of that, but we should be in for some interesting times, and you're definitely coming. You're Grey Warden, you're part of this too. Stan, you're not coming. So let's read those codex entries, and then we'll just set out on our way. Let's complete a quest. Culture and history. Simon says, History of the Drydens. In the years following the siege of Soldier's Peak, all those who carried the Dryden name were hunted by King Arlen's forces. Our noble Dryden name was smeared, and all lands and holdings belonging to the Drydens were seized by the crown. The king feared that the rebellion started by Sophia would be kept alive by her loyal friends and family, and anyone with connections to the Drydens suffered greatly. It is little wonder, then, that the few remaining Drydens found themselves with no allies and nowhere to turn. Right. So King Arlen was a rebellion against King Arland. Okay, interesting. Tobin Dryden, Sophia's brother and guardian of her young son, had no choice but to flee Ferelden. Tobin bought passage to Antiva on a merchant vessel and travelled under the name Derosher. Once in Antiva, Tobin set about building a new, quiet life for himself and his nephew. He started a small business and eventually made a name for himself as a trader. The Derosher merchant family prospered, and the name Dryden was almost forgotten. However, in 815 Blessed, which I think is the last stage, but don't quote me on that, Sylvie Derosher uncovered old documents belonging to Tobin and pieced together the family's history. In her pride and perhaps in her naivety, Sylvie reclaimed the name Dryden and returned to Ferelden. Oh dear. King Arland lies dead and the Dryden name lives on. Our family has survived, even thrived since the death of Sophia Dryden. The nobles of Ferelden may still spit on the Dryden name, but we Drydens know that Sophia Dryden was greater than them, almost a queen and a hero of the people of Ferelden. What a tale. What else we got? Sophia. Sophia Dryden is Ferelden's light and her most brilliant jewel. Nothing on this earth can ever quench her fire. Unquoted source. Arlessa Sophia Dryden was the young Arlen's rival for the throne of Ferelden. Right, okay. Dryden was a strong and charismatic leader with much support from the Benorn. When Arland finally won the crown, Dryden refused to relent. She pushed her claim, was caught, and accused of treason. I wonder how he did win the crown. If you know. I mean, the way that the king is chosen is through support from the Benorn, surely. Not sure on that one. Right. She pushed her claim, was caught, and accused of treason. Her sympathizers continued to support her, however. In order to appease them, Dryden was spared execution and forced to join the Grey Wardens instead. So that's the story. Dryden survived the joining and dazzled the Grey Wardens at Soldier's Peak with her leadership skills and charm. She eventually rose to the ranks to become the Warden Commander of Ferelden. Before Commander Dryden, the Grey Wardens were seen as a relic of an older time and an unnecessary drain on the nobles' coffers. Dryden, though, with her political connections, reinvigorated the Wardens and rapidly increased their numbers by methods that we know and we know is a little bit harsh. In the meantime, King Arland proved himself a devious king, willing to go to brutal lengths to silence his opponents. Arland's reign of terror grew worse with each passing year, and some of the bands approached Commander Dryden in desperation, begging her to intercede. She agreed, and thus was the rebellion against King Arland born. Ireland learned of the rebellion and took steps to end it. He publicly suspended all tithing to the Grey Wardens and declared that they were no longer welcome in Ferelden. Some of the Wardens, mindful that they were supposed to remain politically neutral, felt disgraced by Dryden's involvement in Ferelden politics and left her side even as the king's forces lay siege to Soldier's Peak. The siege took months and ended with the death of Sophia Dryden. That's an interesting issue. Sophia Dryden, so popular, once had a claim to the throne. People came to her asking for help against something not even remotely related to the Darkspawn, and as a result, the Wardens were driven out of Ferelden. Thank God that they were brought back in time for this blight here, but if they weren't, imagine how cataclysmic that would have been. We've been going across the land doing our best to sort of, fight injustice whenever we see it, but always with the blight in mind. Maybe Sophia Dryden lost sight of that, and as a result the Grey Wardens were no longer in Ferelden. Thank God for King Marek. Hey Glenald. Hi. Interesting point, no? Maybe there's a lesson for us to learn in that. Be a bit more careful. Well, nice to have that, finally, that merchant Arver, out of the way. I feel bad for him, sort of. I wonder how long we are in. Okay, let's have a look here. In the save games, I am currently standing at 55 hours played in this game. And obviously that's, that doesn't mean the series is 55 hours. That's including, all the times I've cut out, all the hours I've spent maintaining my party's equipment and such like that. But it's a long time. And so God knows how long that is in Dragon Age time. So marks to him for his persistence. But anyway, let's pop off. Just want to read the... Yep. Let's go get it. Righto, who are we taking?